my loves. Welcome in to this reading for the full moon in Gemini. I'm so happy to have you here. We are going to be diving into the astrological cycle of the full moon, how it relates to your own astrology, and then we're going to be tapping into our own intuitive guidance, our support team, by utilizing the spiritual tools of the cards to get us advice based on the current astrology and our own astrology. For those who are new, hello and welcome in. It is lovely to have you here. Welcome into this beautiful family, this beautiful process. I'm excited to have you be a part of it. I have a tutorial video that helps you to get the most out of these readings. It gives you a little bit more information about what we're doing here and really how to process through these readings and get the most out of them. It's not necessary for you to watch them, but it is an option should you feel called to utilize it. For those who are not new, hello and welcome back in. Thank you so much for being here. This is a way that my heart loves to connect with you guys. This is like me showing up on a one-on-one basis, even though it's electronic and even though there's a time difference between us. I feel connected to you guys through this guidance, through this advice that I share, and it's just really amazing to be able to offer you this support in this way that I do, and I appreciate you so much for being here. There are many ways that you can support me should you feel called to do that. I am offering these readings for free, so any support that you can give me is welcome. There's free ways to support me and there's financial ways. You can just comment on these. You can share them with other people. You can donate if you want to at paypal.me/devotedvulnerable. Link is in the description. Or you can sign up for your own personal chart reading or card reading at devotedandvulnerable.com/services. Link is also in the description. Before we get started and talking about the full moon energy and Gemini energy and what this reading is going to be about, I want to remind you that at any point you can utilize the navigation bar to scroll through information that you're already familiar with. I take time to do timestamps on all of these videos so that you can navigate them based on your own level of understanding that you already have. If you're new, you're probably going to want to sit through and watch it all. But if you're not new, if you're familiar with the energies, the archetypes that I'm going to be talking about, you can feel free to scroll ahead to the readings and get right to the meat of the material. So we're going to be talking about full moon energy right now. Full moon energy is when the moon is full in the sky. It's always in the sign opposite of where the sun is. So we have a full moon in Gemini right now. The full moon will happen on December 7th. It'll happen at 23:07 Eastern Time. And it's happening in 16 degrees 2 minutes of Gemini. So the advice that we're going to be talking about for this full moon will last from this full moon until the next full moon, which will be from December 7th until January 6th. Full moons are always a time of celebration. It's celebrating a theme. It's like the full focal point and spotlight on something, and it's always a celebration underneath the sign that it is occurring in. So now let's talk about what Gemini energy is. Gemini is an air sign. So air signs rule and represent the mental and intellectual realm. So thoughts and beliefs and the mental processes of our beings are all contained within the realm of air. Now, Gemini is a mutable sign. Mutable signs are signs that happen during the change of a season. So they are the energy of change, the energy of adaptation, the energy of being not one thing, but also not another. Gemini occurs during the time when we transition from spring into summer. So this is the energy that we are in. We're celebrating a fullness of this Gemini energy, a fullness of this changing intellect that we have. Gemini is represented by the symbol of the twins. So the twins are this energy, like I said, of the mutable energy, of something being the same but different, which twins represent. It's also the energy of the mirror. What we see in the mirror reflected back to us gives us information about ourselves. So this is the intellectual quality of Gemini. Geminis are witty, they're clever, they're intelligent, adaptable, and they're energetic. This is a sign that's constantly having ideas. And as we celebrate this full moon, celebrate the energy of Gemini, we're going to be going to the cards to celebrate what our intellect has achieved this year. So that is going to be the focus of the card readings. We're going to be going to the Super Attractor deck by Gabrielle Bernstein, which is going to offer us an affirmation to help us support this and celebrate this amazing intellectual ability that we have. We all have different ways of expressing our intellect, and the Gemini moon really wanted us to focus on celebrating our minds, celebrating the intellectual realm, and really making it personal to us. So how you personalize this information is you watch the reading that is aligned for where 16 degrees, 2 minutes of Gemini shows up in your chart. Which house? Now, if you don't know how to find that information, that's absolutely fine. Just take the time to watch this tutorial video that's popping up right now. It is going to take you through how to enter in your birth data into a chart generator, and then how to read the chart enough to know where Gemini 16 degrees 2 minutes occurs in your chart, which house it occurs in. Now you can use any house system that you want to. I explained a little bit in the tutorial video. I use the whole house system, but there's also the default system, which is known as the Placidus system, and the equal house system, which starts the first house at the ascending point. Now, again, you don't have to know any of that. You just go with whatever you're called to. Your guides, your support team know which house system you're going to choose, and they're going to show up for you in whichever reading aligns with that house, okay? If you have questions after watching that video about which reading is the right video for you, please contact me and let me know. And let's dive into what information is coming through for us to celebrate about our intellect this lunar phase. So this reading is for you if 16 degrees, 2 minutes of Gemini shows up in your second house. If you're already familiar with the energies of the second house, you can scroll ahead to the card reading. So the second house is the house of value. The house placements in the Zodiac story represent where something is happening in our lives. So the where of the second house is within our value systems. This includes our possessions, it includes our exchange of money, it includes our morality, our value system, it includes our finances, of course, and it also includes our self-worth, how much we value ourselves. So this is where this full moon in Gemini is, we call it pinging. Okay, the full moon in Gemini is occurring in this place in your chart. So it's like a little ding, a little spotlight being shown on this area of your life. And so as we celebrate your intelligence this lunar phase, we're celebrating the intelligence of your value systems, of your financial savvy, of the way that you exchange things, your possessions. We're celebrating your intellect when it comes to your value system. Let's see what affirmation the Super Attractor deck wants to bring forward for you. So if you haven't already called in your spiritual support team, taken a few deep breaths, and opened your heart to receive the guidance that's most aligned for you at this time, please do that. Remember, you can pause the video to take more time to do that if you need to. All right, second house. Let's see what affirmation is here for you. Ooh, there you are. Whoa. I am patient, knowing that whatever is of the highest good is coming to me. This is such a beautiful, powerful affirmation. I love this so very much. You can see she's kind of pregnant in the picture. She's got her hand. She's expecting, but she's waiting. She's patient. She's receiving this gift from the universe while she waits. And this could be pregnant with ideas, pregnant with inspiration. Doesn't have to be pregnant with a child, right? We can be pregnant with a lot of things. It's the creative process of life that is gestating and growing within our beings. So I'm patient knowing that whatever is of the highest good is coming to me. Okay. So let's relate this to the celebration of your intelligence. You are so smart when you are able to be patient. And I heard recently a definition of patience that patience is how you act while you're waiting for something. And patience is when you act with grace while you're waiting for something. Okay, with that knowing that what is of the highest good is coming to you. So we're celebrating your intellectual ability to be patient. And because this is a celebration energy, this is not something new to you. This is something that you've experienced before that we are highlighting, spotlighting, bringing into the forefront of your awareness to keep in your mind this lunar phase. There's lots of other phases going on, right? We have the Sagittarius solar season phase going on. That advice is valid until the solar shift. The lunar new moon in Sagittarius phase is also still valid until the next new moon. So this is just another piece of advice for you to keep in mind, to hold in your awareness. In the tutorial video that I have, I recommend using index cards to write down the advice and the cycle length of that advice, and then just discarding the card when the cycle is over. But keeping those cards by your bedside or wherever you do your morning routine or your nightly routine so that you can review the information and keep it in the forefront of your mind and your awareness. Your spiritual support team is saying, we're here. We're giving you advice. We are supporting you. Please keep us in mind. So they're reminding you that you know how to be patient, that you know how to trust that what is coming is of the highest good, especially when it comes to our value system, right? There may be a tendency for you to be looking at the things that you have and wanting more and knowing that you deserve more than what it is that you're currently seeing. And that might have a tendency, unless we had this card and this guidance, that might make you in your mind start going into a lack mentality. But there's nothing that you're lacking. You're just waiting as the gestation period is completed for whatever it is that is coming through for you. Now, for me, I'll share what's coming up is that for the longest time, I kept getting the message that I was going to get $4 million. And I was so ready for this money. I was manifesting it every day. I had a budget for how I was going to spend the money. I was like ready. And then a month ago, I got information that completely shifted the way I look at finances, completely shifted the way I look at showing up in this world, completely shifted my desire to even have $4 million to allocate. And so I understood in that moment that because I was patient and because I kept waiting and just trusting the unfolding of the universe, that something else more valuable than $4 million came to me instead. If you can believe that, it's true. So what I'm also saying here is that while you're patient and waiting for financial things, possessions to come into your life, a sense of self-worth to really be truly developed and felt fully, we're just celebrating where we are, and we're celebrating the process of life and the trusting that things are in our highest good are going to unfold in a time and place that's right. And if something hasn't come to us, there may be an understanding coming of why that thing hasn't come into our space, because it may not actually be something that we end up valuing later on or realizing that we value, okay? So as we celebrate your amazing intelligence, you are so smart. The way that you've spent your money, the way that you've handled your possessions and stewarded yourself, your self-worth, and the things that you've been calling in are all worth celebrating. But more important than all of that is your patience in the process of the universe, and celebrating your patience and celebrating all that you have right now as you wait for whatever is going to come into your life, whatever of value is coming to you. Having that patience, really focusing on the image of this pregnant woman waiting for the gifts to be born into this life and trusting the process of life. This is what we're celebrating this lunar phase. The full moon in Gemini really wants you to know that you have the mental ability to focus on this place of patience, to be grateful for the value of things that you have in your life, and to allow yourself to simply be content with what it is that is here right now, knowing that there is something being born, being created for you that will increase your sense of self-worth, that will increase your feelings of possessing that which you deserve. And that's just going to take time. So we're celebrating our ability to be in the wait and know that that's the perfect place for us to be right now. That's what your support team wants you to know. That's what I hope you know. And with that, I feel complete. If you have any questions, please let me know. Please let me know how this is resonating with you. And as always, namaste. The universal light within me salutes and honors the universal light within you. Namaste.